Hey guys, and welcome to today's video, and I thought I would do a bit of an update video around food. Now, food for me is definitely one of those things which has changed a fair bit over the years, just like gear has. It's just continued to evolve. So a little bit of a background on it. When I originally started hiking, I used to really go with those backcountry meals, which you just add boiling water in, give it 10 minutes, and they're good to go. For one, they're pretty expensive, $10 to $15 a pop, and the back of those packets, the ingredients list, kind of reads like a bit of a maths problem, which, you know, with all those emulsifiers, preservatives, all that kind of stuff, I'm by no means some kind of crazy clean eater or anything like that, but I do try, and then when I go out camping, you know, I eat that kind of food, and it really doesn't sit too well with me, so I've kind of steered away from those. Number one, again, because of the expense, and just number two, the way they kind of make me feel not great. And have gone down a cheaper and I guess a more natural path when it comes to food, just keeping it really, really simple. So I thought I would share that with you in this video. So let's get started. When it comes to food, the simpler, the better for me. This is pretty much 2 days or an overnight style setup. And if I'm going for multiple days, it's just a copy and paste job of the same stuff. I do change my snacks out occasionally just to try new things and keep it a little bit interesting. But my breakfast and my dinner pretty much have stayed the same and do stay the same no matter how long I go for. So starting over with breakfast, I go with these porridge sachets. So this is a honey, vanilla, and cinnamon flavor. As you can see, the ingredients list isn't too bad. It's just nice and simple, or a lot simpler than those backcountry ones. 2 sachets for breakfast, some powdered milk, and a coffee. So I'll boil some water. Once the water's boiled, chuck some powdered milk in, mix that in, then mix the porridge in, and that's how easy it is. A nice warm breakfast, which is quite delicious, and then I'll generally have my coffee afterwards. Speaking of coffee, this is the stuff I've been using for a long time now. It's so simple and it's actually quite nice. Inside here is pretty much like a tea bag, except it has coffee. It's just consistent, it's light, it's simple. It's I think it does a really good job for what it is, so can't complain there. When it comes to lunch, I don't really stop and have specific lunch food. I pretty much just snack on the trail as I go along. I do change these out occasionally, like I mentioned. At the moment, same brand as the breakfast sachets here. I'm just trying out these, what are they, kind of bliss balls, so salted caramel and coconut. And just snack on them throughout the day, and just a few bars as well. Usually I have a few more of these, so maybe 2 per day kind of thing, and a pack of this is generally more than enough. An electrolyte drink, Tailwind. I've tried a few different ones, and this is the one that sits best with me. It actually, I feel like it gives me some energy, and it actually, you know, prevents cramping and all that kind of stuff. So I use this when I do my adventure races and Rogaine races, etc. And yeah, I think Tailwind's definitely a winner. I don't do like Gatorade or anything like that. This for me actually makes a really, really nice, decent difference. I do try and bring some fresh fruit, so apple, diced carrots, sometimes a banana, something like that will usually be in my food bag. And if I do stop for a longer lunch break, I'll generally boil some water and have another coffee. As you can tell, I love coffee, so that's that. Usually tea as well. That kind of sits a little bit more over on the dinner side of things. If I want a tea before bed, just kind of relax by the fire, that's always an option. Moving over to dinner, these are actually 2 different dinners. If I'm just going for one night, or maybe 2, I'll take this smoked sausage that we get from Polish Butcher, and this is kind of in the freezer, or it lives in the freezer, so frozen, and as I'm hiking on the trail, obviously it defrosts, and it's good to go by night. Get the fire going, chuck it on a stick, and it's just delicious over the fire, so absolutely love having that. That's my preferred option. If I'm going for longer hikes, or can't have a fire because I know it's going to be raining, or I don't know, for whatever reason, this is my second option. So Uncle Ben's rice. This comes in a few different flavors. Mexican style rice here. Really doesn't require a lot of water. 30 grams. It comes into focus there. I usually give about 50 or 60, so a little bit more. But you know, just boil the water, chuck this in, stir it around for a couple of minutes, and then I chuck the tuna in, and it's again so simple and so much cheaper. This is like $2, and I think this is like $2 as well. So it's less than half the price of those backcountry meals. In my opinion, it tastes better, and it definitely sits better in my stomach than those other meals. So that's pretty much my go-to. Everything lives in this Osprey 20 liter pack. I just chuck it in there, and it sits at the top of my pack, so it's nice and easy to reach when it comes to the breakfast and the dinner stuff. Anyway, the snacks generally go into my side pockets in my in the burn bag. So again, because I'm not really stopping for a dedicated lunch, I'm just snacking as I'm walking on the trail, and they nice and easily go into my side pockets. So that is pretty much it. Nice and simple, and it's actually pretty cheap, and yeah, it does the job for me. So if you do have any questions or any feedback or any ideas, you know, things to try, let me know. Definitely, I think the next step for me is we want to get a dehydrator and just make some of those more kind of home cooked meals, dehydrate them and take them out on the trail, rather than kind of buying this pre-packaged stuff. But I'm not quite there yet, because this is just so simple, and it's actually quite cheap, and it works so well. But probably in my next kind of evolution of food on the trail, my next video, that might make an appearance. So we'll see how we go. So yeah, thank you as always for watching. Like I mentioned before, questions, comments, leave them down below. And until next time, happy trails.